Did you know that changes to your brain's post office could be behind those debilitating migraines? In just 2 minutes, we're going to uncover how the brainstem could lead to alleviation of your migraine pain. So let's take a moment first to look at the brain. The big bit on top here is the cerebrum. Its job is to control your thoughts, your actions, and sensory processing. Under the belly of the cerebrum, we've got the cerebellum, and it's there to control your coordination, your balance, and your posture. This next area is the brainstem. So the brainstem controls vital functions such as breathing and heart rate, as well as being the channel for all the messages being carried from your brain to your body and vice versa. So every sensation you receive has to travel through the brainstem to be received in the brain. This is why we refer to this as the post office of the brain, because it's there to process every message going in and out. So what actually is a migraine? Well, it's different to any other headache. It's actually categorized as a neurovascular disorder, which means that neuro related to the nerves and vascular related to the blood vessels. During a migraine, something triggers a wave of neurons to become hyperexcitable on the outside of the brain. After this hyperexcitability, it goes through a profound inhibition, i.e. they switch off. This phenomenon is known as spreading depression or cortical depolarization. Excitability in different parts of the brain will give off different symptoms. Excitability in the back part of the brain, called the occipital lobe, is used for vision. So your brain starts to see things that aren't there. If you've ever had a migraine with aura, you might notice floating colors or blotches or blurs in your vision, and that's because your brain is visualizing it because of the hyperactivity. Other areas of the brain may affect nausea, your mood, your energy levels, even your sense of taste, smell, or touch. But this electrical storm doesn't cause the pain. The pain doesn't kick in until you get inflammation and dilation of the blood vessels next to the brainstem. So where does a migraine come from? What actually triggers it off? There is a little debate amongst researchers with this, but most of the research points towards it starting in the brainstem area, the post office. Studies have found structural lesions and differences in the brainstems of people suffering from migraines, and functional imaging studies have shown that activation of the brainstem leads to alterations in your cortical blood flow, which suggests that these alterations to the brainstem is what triggers off the cortical changes within a migraine. But this makes sense. If the brainstem is the post office of our brain, if the post office is on strike or we have a problem there, messages get disrupted, and if on our brain I already have a hypersensitivity in my the cortex going around my brain, it increases my chances of developing a migraine. So if I've got a dysfunction to my brainstem, all it takes is something to put it over the edge, a trigger. So your body is just waiting for a trigger to fire it off, whether it be a poor night's sleep, or stress, your menstrual cycle, or even just a glass of wine. So a combination of a genetically hypersensitive brain and a dysfunction to the brainstem creates a perfect storm for migraines. Well, what affects the brainstem? Studies by neurosurgeon Dr. Alf Brieg has found that poor posture and neck tension leads to adverse neural tension. His studies have found that a forward head posture can end up stretching the brainstem between 5 and 7 centimeters. Now this puts a lot of tension on the outer layer of the spinal cord and the brain, known as the meninges, and it's also been known to cause compression of the brainstem itself, which isn't great now that we know that a brainstem is so strongly related to migraines. Good posture is crucial for managing migraines. Forward head posture is becoming more and more common due to sedentary lifestyles and technology use. You're probably looking at your phone right now as you watch this. And this is why we've seen so many people in our clinic go from being constant and regular migraine sufferers to being migraine free. So everyone, keep your heads up, and when you're at it, check out our next video on migraines. Thanks.